Hello, in this video we will develop a web application using Node.js, Express.js to fetch the lyrics of any song. If you are new to this channel, please like, comment and subscribe. So let's get started. First, we will create a new folder. Let's name it lyrics app. Okay, so just 1 second. Now it's done. Okay, so now open terminal and in this folder and run npm init. This is the basic command for an npm project. Okay, so name, I'm giving lyrics app, you can give as you want. Version 1.0.0. Description, I'm giving lyrics scrapping application. Entry point index.js. Hit enter. Okay, yes, and test command empty, repo empty. Okay, and author Prajwal. Enter. License isc is okay. Yes. Okay, so now we are done. So now let's open the project folder in our text editor. Just 1 second. Add project folder, and desktop is here, desktop, and lyrics app just now that we created. Open. Okay, so now let's create the new file, which is index.js. That is our entry point. Okay, index.js. Enter. Okay, now let us create the project structure of our application. First, create the routes folder, and then let us create the views folder. New folder, views. Okay, so now let us create the index.html inside our views folder. Index.html. Okay, and the routes.js inside our routes folder, and hit enter. Okay, so now our project structure is ready and we are good to go. Okay, so as you can see, so let us set up our express server in index.js, and now let us install the node modules necessary to set up the server. Open the terminal and run npm install express space body parser --save to save them into our package.json. Okay, and just it will take a moment to download. Just give me a second. Okay, as you can see, this is the complete command. Enter. Okay, done. So now let's set up our server. Where express equal to require express, where body parser equal to require body parser, where routes equal to require /routes/route.js, where path equal to require path. Okay, so we have required all our necessary files. Now where app equal to express, we are using express module over here. Then app.set views comma path dot join underscore name comma views. So we are joining our views folder here. Then app.engine html comma require EJS dot render file. Then app.set view engine comma html. Okay, so these are the basic settings for a Node.js web server, as you must be familiar by now. Now app.use body parser .json app.use slash comma routes and app.listen on port 2000 comma function console.log server started on port 2000. Okay, so our index.js file is ready now. Okay, we forgot to install an node package, so let us install it now. npm install ejs double hyphen save. We will use it later, so let us install it now and hit enter. Okay, done. So let us set up our routes.js file to enable server-side routing. Okay, so where express equal require express. Where router equal to express.router. Router.get slash comma function request response equal to response.render index. So here what I am doing is when a server gets a request for slash URL, it responds by rendering the index.html, which we will create now. Okay, and yes, module.exports equals router. Okay, so now let us create a basic HTML template. I hope you must be aware with the HTML format. It's fairly simple. Okay, so let me create a basic HTML page. Title, let it be lyrics scraping application. Okay, in h1 tag let me write hello world. Okay, so now our server is ready, so let us run it. Open terminal, write node index. Oops, I made a mistake. It should be listen. It's a basic typo. Let me correct it now. App.listen. Okay, so now let us run node index, and yes, server started on port 2000. Okay, so let us open this port on our Chrome web browser. Chrome. Okay, localhost 2000, and yes, our server is set up correctly, and hello world. Okay, so now let us proceed a step further and design the UI of our application. We will be using bootstrap classes because they are fairly easy to use and give a nice looking design. So okay, let us go. Let me remove this hello world that I put earlier and use div class equal to container fluid. Okay, and then inside it I give it div class equal to column md12 space text center to have a center alignment of text, and inside it in h1 tag let me give the title of our application, that is lyrics scraper. Okay, and line breaks. Then let me see what we have right now. We have this. Okay, let us put an input field, give it an id equal to query. Okay, and input that will take input of the song name, and then btn, put a button over here, class button success. We should give the green color design from bootstrap. Okay, and the title of the button is search. Okay, so let us see what we have. Okay, cool. We have the basic layout of our application, that we write the name of the song and click search over here. Okay, so now let us create a place where the lyrics will show up. Let me create another column, md12 space text center. Okay, and I am using a pre-tag here. Pre-tag is pre-formatted text, so that the text retains its original formatting. Let me give it an id equal to lyrics. Okay, and let me write by default that songs will come here. Song lyrics will come here. Okay, and yes, important, always give credit. Special thanks to metrolyrics.com, because they will be providing us lyrics. Okay, so let us see what we have here. Okay, this will be the layout of our application. You can design more if you want. I'm just using a basic design. Okay, so let me line break. Okay, and let me write a jQuery function over here. It is function search, that I will call on the on click of the search button. Okay, search function where query equal to dollar query hash query, that is the input field. We are getting the value of the input field that I will write, that is basically the name of the song without the artist. Okay, and then I am doing an ajax call to our API, which we will create in a moment, to our API. Okay, so basic HTTP call over here, dollar get slash get music. Okay, I am naming it this slash, and now I will pass the query, that is the name of the song that will input over here on the HTML page. Query comma function data comma status. So we will get the lyrics from our API in the data variable on response. Okay, so what we will do next is, if data dot length is less than 3, that is data is insufficient or lyrics are not found, it basically stands for this, then data lyrics, I said the lyrics section as dot text lyrics not found. I hope we don't encounter this though, but it's always good to check for errors. Okay, else we write lyrics.text equal to the data which you receive from our API dot text to data, and yes. Okay, and yes, on the on click of the button which we created a list search button, on click we call this function. On click equal to search. Okay, so now is the most important part. creating our API to scrap the lyrics and sending them in the response. Okay, so we have used this route. So when we go in our routes.js, first of all let me install two important node modules that we'll use, that is Cheerio and request. npm install Cheerio space request --save. Request module allows us to visit a link on the internet and returns the HTML of page in response, while Cheerio allows us to process the HTML received, just like we use jQuery to extract information. Okay, so let's go ahead and use them. And yes, so let us first of all require them in a variable where Cheerio equals to require Cheerio semicolon, and where request equals require request. Okay, and now so let us go ahead and create a route. Router.get slash the same that we are calling in the function search, get music slash, and the parameter that we are receiving, that is the query which we are sending from a search function query. Okay, so now I will show you how we will scrap the lyrics. So let me go on Google and search some music, Despacito Metro lyrics. Now let me inspect the element. Now we see that the link to the first website is in an anchor tag that is enclosed in a class equal to r h3. Okay, every link is like in this format, in an anchor tag enclosed in a h3 class equals to r. Now we open the website Metro lyrics and we can inspect the element again. See, we have the lyrics on this website, and when we inspect the element, right click and inspect element, we can see that the lyrics are inside a paragraph tag with class equals to verse, p class equal to verse. All the lyrics are in this p tag, as you can see. So basically we know that if we come here and scrap these, we can get the data. Okay, so now let us continue our API that we are making. So we log the query that we receive, request.params.query, that we can see what we are receiving, what we are sending on the front end, so we can see on the back end. And now let us store the query in a variable where query equal to, and convert it into string. We append it with the empty string. Okay, so request.params.query, we have the string where query with us now. So now let me equal to query dot replace. What I am doing is I am replacing every space in the query with the plus sign, because in a Google search URL it's passed in that format only. We replace the space with the plus sign, and now let me create the Google search URL. The URL will be of that format. Let me see, https://www.google.co.in/search ? Q equals to, and then our query. So our link is ready. So this will be the link that we will be visiting. And yes, plus Metro lyrics, that we are ourselves including the Metro lyrics in our Google search, so that we automatically get the lyrics search. Okay, now where Metro URL, this will be currently empty. This we will develop later. So let us now use the request module. We will visit URL1 and in callback we get the error comma response comma HTML. Error response comma HTML. Okay, now if not error, that is no error occurs in this request, we first log the URL1 so that we can see the URL which we visited in our console. Okay, now where dollar, now we use Cheerio to load the HTML of the page. So this is the syntax where dollar equal to Cheerio dot load HTML. The HTML that is provided by the request callback function HTML. Okay, Cheerio dot load HTML. So we have loaded the HTML now. So now scrap the Google link. The first Google link actually that contains the term metro lyric. It is actually the same process that we did manually, that we are doing via our functions. So where links, as we saw earlier, all links on Google search page had an anchor tag and a class equals to R. So using dollar variable, we save all links having an anchor tag a comma dot R class into our links variable. So this is how we are scrapping the HTML. Okay, and now dollar links dot, now we will loop over all the links dot each function counter variable I comma link. So basically we loop over the links until a link contains the term metro lyrics, because we searched on Google metro lyrics, but the result must also contain metro lyrics, then only we will get the correct URL. Where text equal to link dot text now the text is actually the heading. You can log the link. So you can see we are searching if the text contains the term metro lyrics, text dot search metro lyrics is not equal to -1. Then metro URL equals to dollar link dot attribute href dot substring 7. We are taking substring 7 because if you log the href, it will be of the type /URL $q equals to http, but we don't want this, we want directly http h2. So we are taking the substring over here and return false. Why? This will break the for each loop that we run, so that once we get the URL, we are breaking the loop. We don't want to iterate over further. Okay, so now our for each loop is ready. Okay, so actually, oops, I missed a parenthesis over here, so let me correct it now, and closing parenthesis here. Okay, so let us continue further. Now it should be that contains the term metro lyrics, the term metro lyrics. Okay, so now if we didn't found any link, So we are unable to form the metro URL, that is if not metro URL or metro URL dot length is less than 3, that's both are invalid links. So we send lyrics not found. Response dot send send lyrics not found. Actually, it's always good to have debugging, otherwise our app will crash and we won't know what happened. So we have done all the necessary checks over here. Semicolon and yes, okay. So else we have our metro URL ready. So now using request module we will visit the link metro URL which we have scrapped from the Google results, and again the same function callback which is error response HTML. If not error, that is if no error occurs in visiting the link, we do var dollar, again we use the Chirium module to load the HTML of this page, and then in data variable we will store the lyrics. As we saw earlier, the lyrics in the metro URL website were all in the paragraph tag with class dot verse. So we are using dollar dot verse over here, and then response dot send data dot text. Okay, because data will be a complete HTML type, but we want only a text from it. Now else if error occurs in metro URL visiting, we send response dot send lyrics not found. That is, our metro URL was not correct, or maybe some other error occur in this request. We send lyrics not found. Okay. So now if some error occurred in the first request, that was the first Google search, in which we included if not error. Now else if error occurred in Google search, else, actually it's else if error occurred, we'll send again response dot send lyrics not found. You can see the matching parenthesis on the top. It was the if of the first request, within which we have another request here. Okay, I think I missed some parenthesis in the new request to metro URL. Just give me a second. Okay, so here we missed the parenthesis, so it should be here. Okay, So now let's run our app. Node index. Oops, there is an error. Actually it's a typo. It should be comma here, not the dot, comma, a comma. Okay, so here is a slight mistake over here. Make note of it. Okay, it's a dot substring should be outside. Okay, so now we are good to go. So let's run our app. Let's run node index, and now is the testing part of our app. Let us see. This is our application. Say I want to search for Despacito. To search, and yes, congratulations, it is fetching the lyrics correctly, as you can see. So our app is working fine. Okay, so let's search far away, and yes, it worked again, thanks to Metro lyrics though. Okay, so this is the end of our tutorial. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like this video for more tutorials and leave a comment if you want any help. Goodbye.